Up here at our cottage on Lake Simcoe and trying to stay within the Wi-Fi zone. But when I'm up here, I have moments of gratitude of saying to myself, wow, I'm very lucky that I have tried is the optimum word, tried to create work-life intersect or work-life balance. And in doing so, I think it's our duty as founders and entrepreneurs that have been doing this for a while, helping other founders. I'm on business number 3. I thought it's time to always be teaching back and helping other founders who are younger or less experienced. And I think that the purpose of this particular live stream, and don't mind all the sunscreen, it is hot, is focusing on something that there's a book that came out this year called Buy Back Your Time. And Dan Martell talks about the replacement ladder. And I'm going to give you the context, and I'm going to show you the replacement ladder on how I think that you should be using this as a founder. So here's the situation. As the founder, you're overworked, you're overburdened. You never feel like you can get anything of value done. You're always working on tasks and projects, and you just jump from one thing to the next. You're eating dinner that night, and you go like, my God, I didn't seem to work on anything meaningful. That is totally normal. And what we're working on is $5 an hour tasks. And in fact, I watched a video yesterday. It was with Cameron Harold. Cameron Harold used to be the chief operating officer at 1-800-GOT-JUNK, and now he's a consultant. And Cameron Harold talked about $500 an hour and $20 an hour tasks. I talk about $5 an hour tasks and $500 an hour value creation. What Cameron said is that if a public founder, CEO, were to track their time and show to the board that they were spending their time on these $20 an hour tasks, it is the fiduciary duty of the board to fire that CEO. That's how egregious it is with capital that a founder would spend their time on low-level tasks. So with that, in Dan's book, Buy Back Your Time, what he talks about is this concept called the replacement ladder. And what he argues is that you as a founder are not trying to buy more capacity. Like, I'm going to go hire another salesperson so they can go get me more sales. I'm going to go hire another marketer so they can go get me more leads. The concept is that especially in founder-led businesses under $10 million, we the founders generate an astronomical, like an asymmetric amount of value and horsepower when it comes to either the sales process or it comes to development of intellectual capital. So what we're trying to do is actually free up our time so that we can focus on the $500 an hour value creation and let the $5 an hour tasks be handled. And Dan talks about the 80% rule, which is 80% done by other people is 100% better than you doing it yourself because of time management. So with that, I'm going to show you the replacement ladder. And by showing you the replacement ladder, I want to give you an order of operations. And I have this on our Get Leverage demo experience page because I would say 1 out of every 3, maybe even half of every demo and sales presentation that we give, we have founders and CEOs and C-level executives, CROs, CMOs, who say, I know my situation and my problem, but I don't know my resolution. I know I'm overworked. I know I'm overburdened, but I have no idea where to start. So let me share my screen. And in sharing my screen, this order of operations is absolutely ideal. It's perfect. So here's the concept. And if you've read the book or listened to it on Audible, it's great. If you haven't, this is Buy Back Your Time. And there's a section or a chapter in there called the replacement ladder. And what Dan's arguing is that you do it in order of operations because the tasks are less valuable at the bottom. Couple things that I a couple years ago got a virtual assistant, completely control my inbox and my calendar. That has freed up, and no joke, 1 to 2 hours a day of actual physical time where I was checking email, answering email. Remember, email is other people's priorities, not your own. And so I was checking email all day long. But here's the bigger problem. It's the taxation on your mind. So the crazy thing about email is email creates this undoing anxiety where we are constantly spending our time looking at those emails, thinking about those emails. We get this weird dopamine rush when we actually check our emails. So it takes up more mental tax than even the 1 hour or 2 hours to clean the inbox. And then calendaring, the amount of time that you go back and forth and schedule this and schedule that, it can really take its toll on the founder's time. And it's breaking up the cognitive time and space where you get in the zone, that zone of that 90 minutes or 120 minutes where you can tackle a big intellectual project. But then you get interrupted and you've got to schedule something and it takes you from your flow and you're flustered and then you never get back in that flow. So that's step number one. Step number two is going to be on customer support. And this you probably found where number one and most important emails that come in are customers. But not all customer emails are created equal. And a lot of times when we see emails or asks from customers, it's, can you reset my password? Or I didn't get this document, or can you unlock this document? Or what are next steps with this? But that next step is, inside your process. You could literally, well, here's the document to that process. There's so much that happens on the delivery side in customer support that take away from us doing customer success, which is upselling and cross-selling. How are we talking to the customer about commercial opportunities? We're getting caught in customer support, like constantly answering questions rather than delivering new innovation, new ideas. And then after that, it goes into marketing and sales, which is obvious. That is primarily, we're driving everybody towards that engine. So we have virtual assistant as a service, CX as a service. That's where companies start. But what we aim to drive them towards is BDR work, marketing support, video graphics, podcasts, webinars, email database management, all these sort of things in sales and marketing. But it all begins at the admin and the delivery level. And so I hope you find this valuable, because if you're not there, if you're not actually buying back your time in those zones, you'll never be able to actually find the time. The bigger your company gets, the more time that you will be spending on admin, email, calendar, customer support tickets, and you won't ever be able to get to the $500 an hour value creation that you want to get to. So I hope you find this valuable. Wanted to be able to share. We guide customers here on step number one when they ask, I know I need help, but I don't know where. That's the order of operations to start.